Before we dive in, Commanders fans, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. Because today, we're talking about something we don't say. Often around here, the Commanders' offense might have too much firepower. Yup, that's what Cliff Kingsbury just admitted. And trust me, this is one of those problems every team wishes they had. Let's get into it. When your offensive coordinator is already bracing for players to complain they're not getting the ball enough, that's usually a red flag. But in Washington, it's a reason to smile. Cliff Kingsbury, known for his dry sense of humor and self-deprecating charm, joked this week that his biggest concern heading into 2025 might be managing too many talented players on offense. You heard that right, too many. Here's the full arsenal. Jayden Daniels, the reigning offensive rookie of the year. Terry McLaurin, a second-team All-Pro who's as reliable as they come. Debo Samuel Sr., the 2021 first-team All-Pro, brought over in a blockbuster deal from the 49ers. Jaylen Lane, the rookie speedster who's already flashing big play potential. Zach Ertz, the ageless tight end and locker room leader. Austin Eckler, a check-down king and open field nightmare. Brian Robinson Jr., criminally underrated as a receiving back. Kingsbury said what every Commanders fan is quietly thinking. How are we going to feed all these mouths? But make no mistake, this isn't complaining. This is excitement. Controlled chaos in the best way. Now here's where things get interesting. Usually when there are too many playmakers, egos clash. Wide receivers want targets, running backs want touches, and quarterbacks get caught in the middle. But that's not how this Washington team is wired. Dan Quinn made it crystal clear the moment he walked in the door. This is a team-first locker room. No divas, no stat chasers. Just hungry, humble guys who want to win football games. Kingsbury knows that. He's not worried about McLaurin demanding the ball or Debo throwing sideline tantrums. In fact, he praised Terry as the ultimate pro, someone who leads by example and sets the tone for everyone else. That doesn't mean there won't be moments of frustration. There will be weeks when someone gets only 3 touches, or when the game plan leans heavy on one weapon over another. But Kingsbury says that's on him to balance. He sees it as his responsibility to keep everyone involved. And from the way he's talking, he's embracing that challenge head-on. While Kingsbury's been busy installing schemes and building a balanced attack, head coach Dan Quinn took a moment this week to highlight the guy at the center of it all. Jayden Daniels. And if you thought last season was impressive, buckle up. There is no flinch in Jayden Daniels, Quinn told reporters. He's as focused and relentless as you can be about getting better. Let's remember what Daniels did in his rookie year. Led Washington to a shocking NFC Championship appearance. Finished 4th in adjusted QBR, 70.6. Ranked 7th in total yards, 4 thou shalt score 59. Was top 10 in total touchdowns, 31. Now he comes into 2025 more confident, more experienced, and according to The Athletic's Ben Standig, noticeably bulkier. Daniels reportedly added muscle this offseason, a sign of his commitment and physical growth as a pro. Quinn sees the difference too. He's just in command now. He and his teammates have put in the work, and it feels excellent. Like these. Guys are really locked in. The coaches believe he's ready for that second-year jump we always talk about with young quarterbacks. And here's the scary part. With the reinforcements around him, he might take that leap and then some. Let's break down the tools Jayden Daniels now has at his disposal, and how Kingsbury plans to use them. Debo Samuel gives this offense a Swiss Army knife. He can line up in the slot, out wide, or in the backfield. Expect jet sweeps, motion plays, and quick slants to get him going early. Austin Eckler provides elite check-down ability and goal line versatility. He's not just a safety valve. He's a mismatch against linebackers. Terry McLaurin continues to be the route technician and leader of the group. If Daniels needs a clutch third down conversion, you better believe number 17's getting the call. Jaylen Lane, the rookie, brings the speed element that Kingsbury loves. Think vertical shots, screens, and maybe even some special team sparks. Zach Ertz and Brian Robinson Jr. round out the passing game with veteran savvy and sneaky upside. Kingsbury hinted that with all these tools, we're going to see some new ideas. Fresh concepts that blend RPO looks, option plays, and vertical attacks. He's tailoring this playbook to fit Daniels' dual threat skill set perfectly. And if he gets it right, look out, NFC East. It's still May, but let's talk about what everyone's whispering. Jayden Daniels for MVP, as of Thursday, DraftKings Sportsbook has him at plus 750 odds, 5th best in the league. That's ahead of names like Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and even Joe Burrow. Now, is it too early to crown him? Absolutely. But is the hype warranted? 100%. The Commanders didn't just double down on Daniels, they tripled down, traded for Debo Samuel, traded for Laramie Tunsil, a top-tier left tackle, drafted Josh Connolly Jr., the athletic tackle out of Oregon, to protect their investment long-term. Everything in this organization, from front office to coaching to personnel, is built around Daniels' success. And that kind of support system, it's rare for a second-year quarterback. Daniels already exceeded expectations in year one. If Kingsbury's offense clicks and Daniels avoids the dreaded sophomore slump, there's no telling how far this team can go. When the Commanders traded for Debo Samuel Sr. this offseason, it raised some eyebrows. Sure, the name carried weight. Former All-Pro, dynamic playmaker, Super Bowl experience, but many around the league thought he was past his prime. Coming off a down year in 2024, whispers about his conditioning and commitment started to grow. And when the 49ers willingly ate $34.1 million in dead cap just to get him off their books, a lot of people figured he was done. But Adam Peters didn't blink. He sent a 5th-round pick to San Francisco and said, "We believe in Debo." And so far at OTAs, that belief is being rewarded tenfold. From the moment Debo stepped on the practice field in Ashburn, something felt different. Gone was the sluggish frame we saw last year. Instead, Samuel showed up lean, sharp, and focused. The product of a custom fitness program developed by the Commanders' strength and conditioning team. This wasn't just a guy reporting to camp. This was a man on a mission. According to reporters in attendance, Debo has been explosive off-the-line crisp in his route running, engaged in every drill staying late to put in extra work, especially with fellow veteran WR Michael Gallup. Now that last part might sound small, but trust me, it speaks volumes. Veterans staying after practice to work on chemistry. That's not just hunger. That's leadership. That's culture. And speaking of culture, it's not just Debo's body that's changed. It's his mindset. In a recent interview with NBC4 Sports, Samuel couldn't stop raving about the new environment in Washington. Great culture. Great energy. Great guys. It's a big brotherhood here, for sure. That quote right there, that's everything Dan Quinn and Adam Peters have been preaching since day one. Build a locker room where guys hold each other accountable, where every rep matters, and where you fight for the guy next to you. And for a veteran like Debo, who came from a 49ers team that turned the page on him with zero hesitation, that brotherhood matters. He feels it. He wants to be a part of something bigger. He's not just here to get by. He's here to get better. Let's not sugarcoat it. Debo Samuel has a lot to prove. He heard the talk. He saw the tweets. He knows the narrative, that he's washed, overpaid, injury-prone, and worst of all, he knows the 49ers, the team he helped get to a Super Bowl, gave up on him. They didn't trade him to a contender. They didn't negotiate a better landing spot. They said, "You're not worth the money," and moved on. That kind of rejection stings. But it also fuels. Debo is in a contract year. He's hungry, not just for redemption, but for a new deal, whether it's in Washington or somewhere else. That's the kind of motivation you can't teach. You want a guy with something to prove? Debo Samuel is that guy. Now here's the X factor. Cliff Kingsbury knows exactly how to use a player like Debo. In fact, it's almost like this offense was designed with him in mind. Samuel isn't a traditional receiver. He's a hybrid, part slot, part running back, part chaos agent. Kingsbury has been experimenting with motion sets, jet sweeps, bubble screens, and even option plays with Jayden Daniels, where Debo becomes a second-level weapon. Early signs point to Kingsbury using Samuel the way Kyle Shanahan did at his peak, not forcing him into a rigid role, but unleashing him as a matchup nightmare. And when you add that to Terry McLaurin's consistency, Austin Eckler's versatility, Jalen Lane's speed Brian, Robinson Jr.'s toughness, Zach Ertz's experience, you start to see a blueprint that could turn Washington's offense from young and promising to explosive and dangerous. Now let's take a step back and give credit where credit is due. Adam Peters traded for Debo Samuel, a proven Pro Bowl caliber player, for a 5th round pick. That's not just savvy, that's borderline theft. And yes, it's early. We're only in May. But if this version of Debo Samuel is here to stay, if he stays healthy, stays committed, and produces anywhere close to his 2021 form, this could go down as one of the biggest steals in recent Commanders history. Peters saw something the rest of the league didn't. He bet on the man, not the headlines. And right now, it looks like a winning bet. So let me throw it to you. Commanders Nation, is this the most talented offense we've had in DC in the last 2 decades? Can Cliff Kingsbury really keep everybody happy? And is Jayden Daniels about to take this team on a legit Super Bowl run? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you're hyped for this season, and don't forget to subscribe so you stay locked in all off-season long. This is Commanders HQ, and we're just getting started.